Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. It's been a while since I've uploaded one of these videos. As you can see from the title, this video is specifically around the Golden Visa in Portugal. I thought it'd be a good time to upload a video. There's been quite a few changes if you've been following what's happened in the process of the Golden Visa. The Portuguese Prime Minister came out and said in November that he now feels that the Golden Visa has fulfilled its purpose, which led to a lot of speculation as to whether this programme will continue or will it change. We actually got confirmation a few weeks back. The Parliament actually voted in favour of the Golden Visa for 2023. So we know the programme is safe and it will continue throughout next year. What happens beyond that, we don't know at this point. But yeah, I've had quite a few questions regarding this and the Golden Visa in general in my inbox. It tends to be the same questions that people have, so I thought it might be easier just to put a quick video together and go through those questions one by one. Now, I don't want to make this a 20-30 minute video today. I'll do my best not to. We'll try and keep it 10 minutes. So we'll go through maybe 4 or 5 questions, see how we do, and if we need to, we'll do another video. So let's check. First question is, what are my thoughts on the future of the Golden Visa programme? I mean, generally speaking, it's been a huge success for Portugal. It's generated over 6 billion in investment. It's created 11,000 new citizens through this process altogether since it started in 2012. The parties that have been in power in Portugal have always been in favour of the Golden Visa, which is why it was quite a shock when the Prime Minister said he feels it's fulfilled its purpose. My gut feeling is that perhaps they might change the criteria that we see in Greece have now upped the minimum investment from 250,000 up to 500,000 euros. We've seen Cyprus suspend their programme altogether. Given the way that Parliament have voted, I don't see them stopping the programme altogether. But I guess we just don't know. So 2023 is a very important year for anybody that does want to follow the Golden Visa process throughout. Okay, another question here. How long are applications taken to process? We've had friends that have had their application held up. Generally speaking, an application from start to finish, we usually see it completed between 8 months and 10 months. Pre-COVID days, we're seeing this done as little as 6 months, but between 8 and 10 months, I think, is realistic and is achievable. The delays that happened last year were mainly regarding the government sign-off from the process, which happened in May last year. So prior to May, there was a bit of a build-up, a bit of a backlog, and some applications may have taken a bit longer, but we're back on track. Everything's signed off for 2023. So I believe we're good to go for between 8 and 10 months realistically. Another question. Can I still purchase property in the Algarve or Lisbon? I'm guessing what this question is referring to specifically is at the start of this year, we've seen one of the biggest changes in the Golden Visa programme. The government decided that you could no longer invest in residential property in areas such as Porto, Lisbon, and the coastline. The reason for this change was that all the investment was going to these areas. It was pricing the locals out. So fair enough, the government had to step in and even it out a bit more, which is why at Holborn Assets we work with commercial property. So with commercial property, we do not have the same geographical limitations. So we have developments in Lisbon, Porto, and the Algarve. Now, of course, we like these areas because, number one, these areas have the biggest tourist footfall, so you'll get the better rental yields for your investment return. Secondly, these areas also have the best capital appreciation. So a lot of clients at the end of the 5-year investment, they may decide that to sell that property and benefit from capital appreciation. If you're investing or purchasing property in one of the more rural areas in Portugal, you might not get the same capital appreciation. You wouldn't have the same exit strategy. To sell the property might take a bit longer than what it would in Lisbon, Porto, or the Algarve. So we still stick with these areas through the commercial route to investment, and by commercial I mean short-term holiday let apartments, serviced apartments, and that type of thing. Okay, another question. Do children over 21 qualify? So the criteria that the government in Portugal sets out is that children from 21 and under can be added to the same application. However, if those children are still classed as dependents, i.e. they're still at university, they're at college, they're in some degree of full-time education, then potentially they can still be added as a dependent up until the age of 25. So even if you can prove that they're still dependent financially, then there's a possibility that they could still be added to the application. Okay, and another question, can we mortgage in Portugal for the Golden Visa investment? So quick answer is no. The reason for that, I guess, is that Portugal has set up the Golden Visa to bring in new money, new investment into Portugal. So if you're getting a mortgage from a Portuguese bank, it defeats, I suppose, that purpose. So the money has to be a cash investment when it arrives into the account in Portugal. Okay, and we'll do one more question. Can we live in the property? The majority of these developments are not designed for you to live in per se. They are an investment property. There's perhaps maybe one development or two developments that will allow you to stay in that property full time, but 90% of these properties they won't allow you to do that. However, they will allow you to stay within that development for anything between 1 week to 4 weeks per year, depending on the developer. What that means is when you come to Portugal to spend your 1 week per year, then you can stay in the development that you've invested in. So yeah, I hope that's answered the questions for today. As I said, I wanted to try and make this a relatively short video. I'll drop my diary link into the comments. If you click on that link, you can book a Zoom meeting directly into my diary. So more than happy to have a one-to-one conversation with anybody that wants to discuss the Golden Visa process in general, or if you want to discuss any changes made to the programme. So we'll leave that there for today. If you've made it to the end of today's Q&A, then thanks for listening, and perhaps we'll do another one in the next coming weeks. So enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll talk soon. Thank you.